This show, just like all the other Starrcast shows, are available at adfreeshows.com.
Now, I want to talk a lot more about your road in the WWF, but we'd be remiss. I know it's been a tough week, as it is every year for the Hart family. And they say that you die twice. First when you draw your last breath, and then the second time when people stop remembering your name. And this week it was awesome to see Remembering Owen. And I'm sure a lot of thoughts in your mind this week about your little brother.
Yeah, May's a tough month in my family. It just happens to be the month where there's a lot of birthdays in that month in my family. I think there's like 5 or 6 or even more of that with the grandkids and stuff in my family. But May is birthday month in the Hart family, and Owen's birthday was in May. And then he died, of course, in May. So it's a tough month from the beginning of May to the end of May, and with Davey dying and so many guys that they all seem to die in May. So in my family, it's sort of you got the black flag up for the whole month kind of thing, and it's tough. But at the same time, with Owen, it's so nice that so many people remember him all the time, and they remember him in a certain way, like different than what you hear about other wrestlers. They remember Owen for all of his kind acts, and I think that's how I like to remember him. I have no problem, on remembering Owen on the day he died. And I know someone wanted me to come out here and tell Owen stories for an hour or something, but
I don't think they'd mind.
I don't really have any Owen stories that I haven't already told. And it's not so easy to talk about all the memories and things that happened with Owen. It's kind of a bit of an emotional drain to you sometimes. And so I choose to, when I think about Owen, I just kind of usually watch some of our old matches back and some of our old promos and stuff. And I've been really lucky. I've been blessed with so many funny memories and stories about all of them. Owen, Davey Boy, Jim the Anvil, even the Dynamite Kid, and I can go on and on. But I have such good memories with all those guys that when you start sort of swimming through all the memories in your head, you can find so many that make you laugh, and it's easy to smile when you think of those guys.
There are a couple of the really funny ones, because Owen had such a great sense of humor. I love the story about Hacksaw calling down to the front desk, but are there a couple that really stand out?
Well, I like to always tell the one about what he did with my dad, where there was a wrestler named Reg Park, and he would Reg was the guy that made all the belts for WWE a few years ago. He's a great guy. He was a sort of a well-built, like when he got into wrestling, I think he'd been a bodybuilder, so he had a pretty good physique. But if you ever knew Reg, he was like one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. Very quiet, kind of easygoing kind of guy. And when we went to WrestleMania, I'm going to say WrestleMania 4, I brought, probably actually it was WrestleMania 5. No, maybe it was 4. I don't know, one of the two. But I brought my dad down with me and my youngest daughter, and we had a suite at the hotel. And I just remember getting up in the morning. It was probably about 9:30 in the morning, and my dad was just kind of waking up. He had a big nightshirt on. He was wandering around the hotel room with a nightshirt on. And my phone rang, and I remember I got the phone. I answered it, and I didn't know it was Owen because he disguised his voice. And he's like, anyway, he had this dry, raspy voice of like Reg Park. He could do Reg Park perfectly. And he said, "Is your dad there now? Just tell him it's Reg Park. I want to just talk to him for a minute." And so I remember holding the phone, and I said, "You want to talk to Reg Park?" And my dad was always liked Reg, and it's like, "Give me the phone." So I hand my dad the phone, and then Owen starts on my dad about, first they go through some nice, how are you, Stu? And my dad, not too bad, and they're talking away, and all of a sudden I could just see my dad's face changing, and Owen was saying all kinds of stuff to my dad on the phone about, you were a chicken shit. You were always afraid of me. You were always so gutless. You never had the guts to take me down the basement. I would have kicked your ass if you had, and all this stuff. And my dad's like flabbergasted. And I just see him wandering around the room. He's holding the phone in his hand, and I'm like, he's talking to the nicest guy in the world as far as I know. And all of a sudden my dad's starting to get heated on the phone. And he's like, Reg, if you'd wanted to try me, why didn't you try me? And I remember kind of almost being shocked at, what the hell's Reg Park doing? Like, and the truth is that Owen, who kept like laughing because he kept pushing all my dad's buttons and saying stuff to him, but he kept like holding the phone away from him, and then he'd go back on and he'd start laughing again. And then he'd say something else to my dad about, you were always a gutless promoter, and like whatever it was. I just remember my dad getting so mad, and Owen pushed it and pushed it and pushed it with my dad, because my dad had bit into he'd swallowed this thing. He thought he was talking to Reg Park, and he couldn't believe it. And I just remember my dad slamming the phone down and sitting on the chair, and he was like, just had this funny, sad look on his face, and he kind of a smile, and he goes, the bastard got me. I remember I still didn't really know what it was till Owen told me later. But I guess Owen told me that he laughed so hard that he had to finally say to my dad, after he really said a lot of, strong things to him, he finally had to just cut in and go, it's me, it's Owen. I'm just pulling your leg or something like that. And that's when my dad slammed the phone down. And so I didn't know till Owen told me later, and would tell me often on the plane, that was the funniest memory that he ever had, how he pulled my dad's tail that day. And there was that kind of stuff every day with Owen. And you can live by those memories.
Why didn't you ever try me? That's good.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.